In this video, we're going to take a look at Lucy Powell and Angela Rayner. Both have made horrific mistakes and errors in judgment this week, and we're going to take a look at that right now, so stay tuned. And welcome back to the channel. I'm Pete. Hello from MV UK. So we're taking a look now. Here I was actually, before we get started, taking a nice 2 to 4 week break, chilling out a little bit, celebrating getting to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you everyone for subscribing, and if you're not subscribed, please do. It means a lot, gets the word out there. The more that we can expose these stories that aren't being picked up by the mainstream media, the better, because it means that more people are going to be aware of what's happening in the political landscape. Not that it's exciting, not that it's fun, but we've got to know so that we can make informed decisions when we go to the ballot box the next time to vote for whichever party has the views and the policies that suit you. However, talking about policies and politicians, this weekend Lucy Powell was on Any Questions and talking, and we're going to listen to the clips, so stay tuned for that, and stay tuned for Angela Rayner's big boo-boo. I've got a video clip for that too. So we're going to take a full listen to the majority of it is about just under 2 minutes worth of listening, and we're going to make our own opinion of what we think. Now, people are reporting on this as we speak, and will do probably for the next few days, because it's such a biblical misjudgment from herself. So this is Lucy Powell, MP, and here, let's take a listen. Just before you do, the context is that the gentleman that's speaking, the host, is saying about councillors now, they're having to, in addition to doing regular council work, having to monitor racial tensions and things to do with that ilk. So check this out. Let's have a listen. Here we go. Roll the clip.
And there is a real issue, I think, with, you mentioned the diversity issue. I think Britain is one of the most tolerant countries in the world, and always need to be more progress on racial issues. Always needs to be more progress. But it's not so much the amount of money that is spent on employing diversity officers. You talk to a lot of civil servants. The amount of time they now have to spend monitoring this issue above all others is an extraordinary diversion.
What absolute nonsense.
It absolutely is true. Absolutely is true.
I mean,
and
honestly.
It's a culture that governs a lot of...
Go and sit in a council for a day and actually see what they're dealing with. Actually see what they're dealing with. You've got no idea, I'm afraid.
How are Labour... I don't know whether you saw the documentary on Channel 4 about rape gangs over this.
We want to blow that little trumpet now, do we? Yeah, okay.
There is a real issue...
Let's get that dog whistle out, shall we?
Okay, Lucy. Yeah. The councils, there were so many people who were so afraid for good... Can I just finish the point, just for 1 minute?
Finish that point, Tim, and then I'll bring in Helen.
Look, there were so many people in local government, in the authorities, who, for good reasons, were worried about upsetting community tensions, that those girls went undefended. Now, there were good reasons, but no one has still been brought to justice for that. So you tell me, Lucy, that this isn't a culture in local government. It's just not true.
Dear. Helen Morgan?
I think it's a total failure to understand how local government operates, actually. Because if you look at Shropshire, for example, where 25% cuts to local authority budgets since 2015 have left our potholes unfilled, our flood defences in a terrible state, there are 2 people...
Okay, that's just about as much as I can stomach of that. So you heard her there. It's crazy that she can make comments. She can refer to calling for a national inquiry and a grooming gang scandal, dog whistling. Like, incredible. Like, I have no words. And for those who know me, I've always got something to say. So there you go. Right, so... following that, there has been a public outroar, as you would expect. So both the Shadow Home Secretary Chris Phillip and the Shadow Justice Secretary Robert Jemrick from the Conservative Party have both said that she needs to resign. Comments were offensive and a betrayal of the victims, to quote unquote, emphasising Labour once again for dismissing calls for a national inquiry. Now, this is it. This is the thing. This is not going to go away. So we've got a massive problem anyway with the invasion that's happening to the country right now. Like, I think there was over 1,000 last week. I mean, seriously, this cannot carry on. Keir Starmer is way out of his depth. Let's smash the gangs. The only thing you're doing is smashing your own reputation, and that was in tatters before you started anyway. Absolute con artist. Anyway, so again, I'm digressing away from the story here. So Lucy Powell has gone on air and has gone onto social media and apologised, stating that she was speaking about the political scoring around this hideous, sinister subject. There's no look. You can apologise all you want. This is truly how you feel. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's reflective through the entire Labour Party. They look at the abuse gangs and the horrific betrayal of our children as just a fly in the ointment, an irritant, just a bad smell that won't go away. Well, it isn't going to go away because it's still happening. I mean, seriously, it's still happening everywhere. It's insane. And that, in my own opinion, that fool, Sadiq Khan in London, who called off the Metropolitan Police from investigating abuse gangs, let's say. I don't want to get cancelled by YouTube for certain terminology. Anyway, he stopped that. Wonder why? Suspect. I'm saying no more. But you can make up your own mind of, I don't know. Let's stop something that's going to get justice for people that have been forgotten for so long. Disgusting. I'm utterly disgusted. And not that it takes much to disgust me at my age, but this is insanely disgusting. Disgraceful comments. To be honest with you, my call is that she should be dismissed. You can't have those comments. She should go. And, Keir Starmer, he needs to show his teeth again. He was ruthless getting rid of, what was her name? The chief of staff back at the start, Sue Gray. That's right. Shred her right out when it had come out that she was earning more money than he was. Phew, gone. Can't have that. Ego bash. Anyway, let's get on to... so that was that. That was Lucy Powell's absolute heinous mess up that should cost her a job. Don't think it will, but maybe. There could be some kind of justice on that. Next to look at was Angela Rayner. And this was actually from last Sunday. So this is a bit of a dated story. A lot has happened since I've been chilling out for a bit, like the Pope has passed and there's been some other big stories. This, Trump had his 100 days, but this one actually just makes me laugh every time for the comedy value. I'm going to play it for you. And I'm going to let you, if you like what you've been getting so far, please do hit the like button. Maybe a subscribe would do well. But for the next part, leave me a comment on what you thought of Lucy. Definitely leave me a comment on what you think of Angela Rayner's maths. Bear in mind, she is the Deputy Prime Minister. And that should put the fear of God into all of you. And me. So here, I'll check out what she's got to say with Trevor last Sunday. This is just comedy gold maths. And Trevor, fair play to him. He does hold her to account a little bit. So check this. Watch this.
All right, let me ask you about another element of this. On the present densities, you're going to add 3.4 million, or homes for 3.4 million people with your 1.5 million houses. On your own figures, we're also going to add to our population 2.5 million people over this same period. Are you content that more than 5 out of 7 new homes will go to immigrants?
Well, that's not the truth, and that's not the
That's
case.
what will happen.
Well, that's not the reality, because
where the 2.5 million immigrants that are in Rachel V's budget figures going to turn up? Where they're going to live?
Well, there's plenty of housing in the UK, but the houses, especially social
hang on.
affordable
You can't
homes
on the
that
one
we're
hand say
building.
we've got to build this 1.5 million houses and then say there's plenty of housing already.
There is plenty of housing, Trevor, already, but there's not enough for the people that desperately need it. So the homes, especially under our affordable homes programme, which is social and affordable housing. They will be there for people who desperately need them, local people. We've already outlined how we're going to support veterans and people who are fleeing domestic violence.
Okay.
Councils need homes for people that are on the waiting list. I've already announced changes to the right to buy, making sure they
But this
have
doesn't
receipts
quite make sense.
so that we can deliver
Deputy
the
Prime
houses
Minister-
they desperately need.
Deputy Prime Minister, doesn't quite make sense.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make sense because she's a chancer. That's what she's a chancer. It doesn't make sense. So there you go. 1.5 million houses being built. 2.5 million people projected to come in that we know of that are legal, let alone the illegals. So we're already 1 million houses a year down, or through the period, as they say, down. And we just found out this past week, which I was going to do a video on, but I thought I would leave it because I missed the moment on that one, where it says that actually illegal immigrants who come over on the dinghy with nothing in their pocket except the right hand held out asking for stuff are going to get priority over social housing, the housing that, you know, young people started a family, need the support to progress into so they can get a job and raise the next generation of fine patriots in this country. Oh, no, no, no. No, that's not how Labour work. No, no. Labour work in the context of let's give it all to the rest of the world and the mugs in the UK can pay for it. There you go. That's what's going to happen. So, quite frankly, I don't know whether Keir Starmer's position's tenable. Angela Rayner has got a calculator that, I don't know. I'm not going there, actually. Anyway, that is slightly dodgy. And Lucy Powell, just a complete disgrace to humanity with comments like that when there's a horrific issue going on and running rampage through the UK. Unbelievable. And on that note, I'll leave you to it. Remember, like, share, comment. And feel free to share it on to a friend if they've got the similar sorts of views. On that note, that's Pete from MV UK. I'll see you on the next video.